Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome inside the Halifax Forum as we get set for some U15 major action between the 4th place Halifax Wolverines and the 5th place Martello Wealth Bandits. Thanks for tuning in live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers, and we're underway. Here's an icing call off the opening draw. Will stop play as starting in between the pipes for the Wolverines will be number 33, Tayden Ye. He has a 7-2 record on the year here so far. 21 goals against, a goals against average of 2.76, so a pretty healthy half of the season here so far. As 200 feet down from him is going to be number 31, Ava Fry. Gets the nod here for the Bandits this evening in this midweek matchup. She comes into this game with a 6-5 record, 37 goals against, and a goals against average of 3.43. As the Wolverines shot on, Fry holds on for the whistle, and that'll stop play here with 14:27 remaining. Both teams playing in the Ice Jam. First game back after that long weekend in Bedford. Bandits getting to play at home for that tournament, as it is in their home rink, the Greenfoot Energy Center, as now they're in the home of the Wolverines here for this midweek matchup. Williams pokes it down the wall, but here come the Bandits up to the neutral zone off the linesman, and forced to regroup in their own zone are the Bandits, as it's worked up to the far side and then over the blue line, and a big hit there. Williams absolutely laying the thunder to O'Hearn, as it's worked back up here by the Wolverines through the neutral zone. Good job to keep his feet moving there and get it in deep. That was number 44, Lachlan McKay. As in behind the goal now, Harple back to the point. As it's worked D to D, Ripley, he'll leave it. Now Ripley has a shot go high. Past the head of Fry over to the far side. Work back to the point. Berger sending it back down low. As it's battled for now on the half wall. Harple in there trying to help his man out. One out though, and picked up by McLean. McLean wheels the back of his net. McLean, the captain this season for the Martello Wealth Bandits. As Ripley holds the line. Back off the attack. Here come the Wolverines in a shot. Fry thought she had the rebound, and it got off her pad and up to the point. Berger holds the line. He'll put it back down the half wall. Trying to work that out was Rutledge, but it's turned out here by the Bandits and sent right back in. Young will dump it in for a change. Rutledge gathering it behind his own net. He'll look center all the way up to the far blue line. Schnare chips it in. Snare, nice move to the middle. Here he is, 2-on-1. Snare, shot, pad save, and Fry coming up big here early. Here's another save by Fry. As the Bandits under some pressure here from the team in yellow, as they come out buzzing like bees here to start off this game. The Wolverines, as here comes Robertson for the Bandits, dumping that puck in. Out to stop it, but wasn't able to, was the goaltender Ye. That's Tayden Ye in the pipes for the Wolverines. Hasn't seen too much work yet, as here's an opportunity now. Bandits trying to work it towards the net. It's cleared away by Kopik, as that's chipped out into the neutral zone. The Wolverines, as it's collected there by the Bandits, up into the neutral zone. Nice little move around one, heads up, as that could have been a big hit. Camus making a move to the middle, as Sim will dump it just inside the blue line, and right up, here's a break for the Bandits. In alone, and he got called up there. It's going to be a penalty on the way. We'll see if, and it will be a penalty shot, as the penalty shot will be awarded to number 9, Maddox Burke. So he'll head to center ice, as he was in all alone, and Burke is going to have an opportunity to open the scoring here in the opening period. 11:41 remaining. Maddox Burke with a great opportunity, got hooked down from behind. That's going to be a penalty shot here inside the Forum on this Wednesday night matchup. Burke gathering the puck as he works it up over the blue line. Burke on his forehand, weaks his way in to his backhand, and Yeh slides across and makes the save. Tayden Yeh keeping it tied up at 0. As Burke unable to capitalize on the penalty shot, and we're still knotted up. No score yet here in this matchup. A decent crowd up behind me here inside the Halifax Forum for this midweek matchup between the Wolverines and the Bandits. Coach Jared Glazebrook behind the bench for the Bandits. Steve Bent, the newly appointed head coach for the Wolverines. As Steve is accompanied by his daughter Kyla and former teammate of mine Ethan Landry. After their hockey careers coming to an end in the last couple years, transferred over into coaching. As it's worked up, chipped in by Chandler. Yeh out to stop it. Williams, reverse, up the wall. Here's McKay, trying to chip it past Chandler. Burke picks it up, trying to cycle it back down low, goes off a skate, ends up onto the stick of Haynes, who dumps it down below the wall. All the way down along the end wall into the short side half wall. As it's worked up here by the Wolverines and into the bench. And that'll stop play as McKay had a 3-on-2, but flipped it up into the Bandits bench, and it'll stop play. Face-off will go back inside the Wolverines zone. So an offensive draw upcoming. The Bandits will send over Young, O'Coin, Smith, Hayes, and Robertson. Hayes and Robertson on the back end for the Bandit squad. It's down low, Berger. He reverses in behind his net. Funneled up the wall. Rutledge works it out, but right back in. Now worked back up. Here come the Wolverines. Rutledge centers off the skate of Robinson and out. Come the Bandits, O'Coin. He'll go one-on-one. Can't get around his man there and work back. The Wolverines will get center. That's Ripley. Sent around to the far side. Off the half wall. Trying to work it was Parker. As now the Bandits have it up over the blue line. That'll be pushed down low. O'Coin's going to drive the net. Smith looking for some free space out front. Young activating down now. Has O'Coin in front, centering pass in the feet there of Ripley. Puck still loose, and now the Wolverines clear but not out. Hayes stepping in, takes a bump off the body of Rutledge and out into the neutral zone. Robertson, he'll collect the puck. Get his feet moving north, leave it for Smith. Ahead of him, Ripley's going to have to go back. Ripley behind his goal. Gets tripped up. The arm went up in the air, and then he brought it back down. It was supposed to be a tripping call. The arm went up and then right back down. So a fortunate break there for the Bandits. Here's a chance for the Wolverines, and a shot goes high past Fry. Into the corner. Centering out in front. Sheer shot, and that's a save by Fry. 9:31 remaining. A fortunate bounce there for the Bandits, for the Bandits, as the arm went up for a second and then dropped right back down immediately. Of the official, I thought he was going to call the tripping call. No, he didn't, and we remain 5-on-5 here. Here's a shot. Wayne has that go off the blocker of Fry and into the corner. Puck battled on the half wall. Colin, the captain this season for the Wolverines, got a pre-game interview with Jared Conlon, and head over to High Button Sports Instagram to check that out. Also caught up with number 17, Drew Cameron, before the game as well. All of the content will be over on the High Button Sports social media page. The Wolverines 11-1-1 in their last 13 games, that including the Ice Jam weekend. Kopech, offensive zone draw. Trying to win it back. Off the stick. Now Sim has it at the point. Shot tipped, and they score. Sheer tipped. No, and it stayed out. No call from the official. Sheer thought it went in. I thought it did too. It was in behind Fry. And she somehow able to keep that puck off the twine. I thought Sheer had a goal. He leads the team in that category. Does Jack Shear. Older brother Will Shear plays for the Halifax McDonald's in the U18 league. And quite a season he's having as well. It's quite the hockey family in the upcoming years here from Nova Scotia is Cameron. He'll work it down the wall. Williams tried to pinch him off. A big squad in yellow. Here's a chance and shot, scores! And Burke will open the scoring. 1-0 Bandits here inside the Forum. Burke unable to score on the penalty shot, but he says it doesn't matter. I'll get a feed in front and capitalize this way instead. And Maddox Burke has the opening goal for the Bandits. 8:42 remaining in the period. And Burke opens it up. It's off the draw. The Bandits are going to get it back in, and they'll look to get on the forecheck. Burke, first one in there. Reverse play. Cameron trying to get something out as it's back here for Ripley. Ripley up the wall, picked off by Chandler, trying to cycle it back down low. He's pinched off on the half wall as Ripley gathers it up. He'll rim it around for Harple. Harple, nice little touch pass there, good support. As out comes McDonald, nice move around the defender. McDonald, and a shot there goes way high as it rolled up on his blade. And McDonald up into the mesh, will stop play. Nice little breakout there by the Wolverines is coming with good support. McDonald, Harple just fed it through the forechecker's stick, through the triangle, and McDonald made a nice move around the defenders, had a 2-on-1, elected to shoot. It was the right decision, trying to make a rebound, but just at the last second, it flipped up on his stick, out of play, and it'll be an offensive zone draw. McDonald winning it back. Shot, that's blocked. Smith has it, up to the point. Ripley, back down McDonald. High slot, lets a shot go off the stick. And up, and out of play for the whistle. Is that good job there by Levi Harris to get his stick in there and disrupt that. That was Braxton Robertson, number 5. My apologies. So Wolverines once again, offensive zone draw. Poke down, here's Harple on the half wall. The big frame of number 8 working it down the wall. He'll cycle for McDonald, who had a couple good opportunities here recently in this shift. Robertson knocked away by Harple, trying to work it out. McKay will chip it right back in. Centering pass over the stick of McDonald, back at the point. Sim down the wall. Cycled in behind. Here's McKay. Up off the half wall. Wayne pinched in, backed off, and turned it over. Good job there. Here's McKay. McDonald, and it went into the corner as he tried to get a shot off. Robertson in there. He works it back now. Here's Sim. Lets a shot go. It's blocked in front. Rebound over to the far side. Wayne around the dashboard here for McDonald. McDonald to the point. Sim back down the boards for Harple. Had it go too far away from him. Stepping in. Wayne, he pinches it back down low. In behind the goal line, the defenseman working it back to his defense partner as Sim will dump it right back down. Good activation there from the big number 9 on the back end for the Wolverines. Here's Sim, smart play. He'll get it right back in, and now a forechecking and some offensive zone time starting to creep up over here just inside. 7 minutes now remaining, and but it seemed like a minute shift here in the defensive zone for the Bandits. Here's Wayne from the point. He activates, shot, Fry, rebound, save. Fry keeps it out somehow as she was in the splits on that save, and Ava Fry keeping the 1-goal lead for the Bandits. What a save there by number 31 in Teal as she was down in the splits. Came up with 2 big stops. Another offensive zone draw here for the Wolves. Ripley back at the point. He awaits as that's one though back by Burke. The Bandits look to break things up. Young couldn't get it at the far side. Parker sending it back down. Centered here. Burke gathers it up with speed now over the blue line. Maddox Burke with the opening goal drives wide. Centers off the stick of Yeh back to the point. McLean's shot. That's blocked. Burke's shot. Yeh steers it away into the corner as the rebound sat loose for a moment. Parker sends it over the far side for Berger. Burke in there, takes a bump, can't get it, chipped up the wall, now out into the neutral zone. Here's Rutledge, one-on-one, loses his handle on skate, and out. Here comes McLean back to the neutral zone, gets tied up. That's trying to get worked ahead. Parker takes a bump, no call on the play there as they'll play on. And up here through the neutral zone, taking a big hit there. Good job finishing his check with Shear just in front of us. As it's down below the Wolverine zone, Harris took the worst of that check from Shear. As he's back into the bench, he's all right. Williams will play it around. Kopech into the middle, kicking it wide. Kopech trying to get to it first. Now up over the blue line onside. Shear kicking it wide. Picked up and worked back here into the neutral zone by the Bandits. McLean at center ice. Nice move around one. As it's sent in now, good job to follow it up, was Marshall Hayes. Reverse down and below the goal line. Burge centers. Here's a chance out front. Yay with the big stop, and he'll hold on for the whistle. A little bit extracurricular there as Schellinger was in there digging away at the puck. Camus now having a quick word there with what looks like to be Jack Shear. My apologies, Jack. As I've done a couple of your brother's games recently, and he's announced quite a bit in those games. Schellinger on the draw. Battling for it, wins it back. Here's a shot, doesn't end up onto the net of Yeh as it's worked back, centered, and picked off. Here come the Wolverines, up into the neutral zone now, and over the blue line. Kopech has a man driving, that's Jack Shear. Has it go away from here, Shear goes into the boards, and that'll be a penalty upcoming. As Hayes is gonna go, 2 for head contact, I believe will be the call. Marshall Hayes to the box. We'll wait to see, it's gonna be 2 for head contact with 4:46 remaining here in the opening period. 1-0 lead for the Bandits and a power play opportunity for the Wolverines to tie it up here. 2-minute head contact penalty to Marshall Hayes as the Wolverines look to set things up. Here's Wayne down the wall, back up here for him. He'll get it, walk it, and it's back down here for McDonald. McDonald dishing, give and go play, and a nice save by Fry. Keeps it out of the back of the net. Great job there by Ava Fry. And she's had a great start to this game. As mentioned, her record on the year, 6-5, 37 goals against in those games, as it's going to be a 3.43 goals against average, and a great start here in this midweek matchup for number 31. McDonald has it on the half wall, looking for an option. McDonald back up top for Wayne. He'll walk to the middle, over to the far side. Berger across ice. It's picked off by Smith and sent back into the neutral zone off the stick of Wayne and back. He'll have to retreat behind his own goal. He'll stop and set things up. McDonald will swing to the short side. Berger to the far side. McDonald gets it up through the neutral zone with speed over the blue line. McDonald trying to dipsy doodle around one. Robertson, good job there, keeping it to the outside. Here's a chance. McDonald lets a shot go. Fry rebound save. Another save underneath a Fry, and she'll hold on once again for the whistle. So McDonald tried the give and go, then kept it, and then tried cutting back down the wall. So 3 different looks off the half wall for McDonald on the power play. Nothing being able to find the back of the net. 3:52 remaining, opening period, 1:06 on the power play. Face-off battle there. Kopech couldn't get it. Shear gets to it down below the goal. Jack Shear to the point. Walked. Berger sends it back down the half wall over the stick of Kopech. That rim around gets held in by Ripley. Ripley towards the net, tipped in the chest of Fry. Rebound, cleared back to the point where Ripley pokes it back to the slot. Ripley holds the line once again. Kopech has it down the wall. Centering pass in front, poked away. Young has lost in his feet into the corner. Battled for there. Young's going to leave Shear. Shear drops it off for Conlon. Back for Ripley. Ripley's going to walk. Back for Conlon. To the net. And Fry holds on once again for the whistle. 3:10 remaining, opening period. 24 seconds remaining on the Bandits penalty to Marshall Hayes, who sits in the box for head contact as he roughed up Jack Shear. Might be a problem there. Sorry, apologize to the Shears, as Will and Jack, both really good hockey players. You got to say their name a lot. Here is Jack Shear on the ice here for the ending of this power play. Shear takes his man out, puck to the point. Gauthier walks in, lets a shot go, it bounces wide. Williams steps in, pokes it down the wall, past Kopech, and that puck cleared out. Shear finishing his check, back into the neutral zone. Good forecheck by Camus. Down low, Camus. Gauthier bumps him off the puck. Gauthier up for Conlon, the captain. for the Wolverines. He'll center for Jack Shear through the neutral zone. Shear to Kopeck. Down the wall, Kopeck center. In behind for Shear. He'll cycle for Kopeck. Kopeck trying to center. Fry lost her stick. It's all the way into the corner now by the bell sign. Burke trying to get it back. Picked up. Over top here for Gauthier. Gauthier walk. Shot looking for the stick of Shear. Wide. Kopeck centers out front. Rutledge almost had a chance, but the pad of Fry denies that one. Camus stops up inside the ringette line. He centers. Here's a chance. Robertson in from the point. Puck in the feet of Yeh. He was up. Puck still loose. Down below the goal line. Trying to bang it home. Maddox Burke looking for his second goal of the game. Backdoor pass. It get blocked. Back to the far side point. Hayes out of the box. He'll join his team and look to set his man down low as he holds that puck in down low. Chandler has it on the half wall. He'll cycle it back for Maddox Burke. Burke walking, centering. Robertson shoots, and that goes high. All the way back into the neutral zone. Is now here a foot race for it. Rutledge gets to it, sending it down low. Yet to get her stick is Fry as it was in the corner. Fry still with no stick. As up, here's Camus. Has it. He'll center. Up here for Robertson. He'll chip it around Sim. Robertson takes a step. Robertson has Chandler shot there and a blocker save by Tayden Yeh. Is a big save there for him as out come the Wolverines. Through the neutral zone, working it up over the line is Harpel. Pressured Smith. Trying to get it back from Harpel is a good F1 there by the Wolverines forward. Here's a shot down low, tip on, and Fry back with her stick, able to make the save and hold on for the whistle. 1:05.4 remaining in the opening frame. Still a 1-goal lead thanks to number 31, Ava Fry, coming up with a few big stops on the penalty kill and recently here in the first period. Hayes will step over the boards and join his squad as he served the 2-minute penalty. His team able to kill that off for him. The Bandits lead 1-0. Defensive zone draw 1 though, back by the Wolverines. Cycle back down the wall. And behind here's a chance on the honey pot and a shot goes wide. Offensive zone draw, 1 back into the corner though by the Bandits. Up the wall, Sims stepping in to try to hold it back down low, and a delayed call. It looks like the net off its bearings will stop play. I think Harpel might have ran into it, so its face-off might come outside, but I don't know. Or it might have been Hayes that ran into it. Didn't quite see as I was trying to get the number in the corner. Face-off will stay inside. Another offensive zone draw here for the Wolverines. Kopeck will dig in. Kopeck tried to push it forward into the corner. He did, but to it first. McLean will send it around to the far side. So we're inside a minute now here remaining in the opening period. Pressure so far has seemed to be down in the Bandit zone, but they have the 1-goal lead thanks to Maddox Burke, who missed on the penalty shot, but scored. Here's a chance. Fry, save, rebound, picked up. In behind, Hayes takes a bump, turns it over, working it out, shot. Another save, and that puck cleared back. Ripley on the far side. He'll cycle it back down low. Hayes, though, gathers it. He'll work it around for McLean. Up the wall, Stewart under his stick. Sim with 5 seconds remaining here on the clock as time's going to click out here in the opening period. So after the first 15 minutes of play, the Bandits with a 1-goal lead thanks to number 9, Maddox Burke. We'll be back here for a second period of action live on High Button Sports after this short intermission. And welcome back here for our second period of action between the Bandits and the Wolverines. 1-0 lead for the Bandits heading into this second period. As the assists are going to be charged to number 17 for them is Drew Cameron. Had a chat with him during the warm-up. Head over to iButton Sports Instagram pages to check out that. As well as Enzo Chandler will pick up the secondary assist on the Maddox Burke opening goal. As the Bandits look to try to get some offensive zone pressure now, as here's Harris holding the line, chipping it back down low. Ripley, he'll work it up. Schneier, not intercepted there by Cameron, have it poked off of his stick. Parsons, D to D, chipping it up the wall. Right back here though, Parsons has it. He'll spin away from pressure. That's Schneier in there pressuring. Parsons up the wall, and that's chipped in. Smart play there by Maximus Young. Back into the neutral zone. Schellinger off the bench, turns it over. Here's a chance for Camus to his backhand, and a save by Ye. Picked up. Wolverines up into the neutral zone now. McKay, McDonald, back for McKay. McKay has a shot go wide. Over here, Camus centers, takes a bump for his efforts. It's up ahead though. Gauthier has it for the Wolverines. Pass, heads up. Stewart side stepping a check there as he gives his man a whack. As trying to step into the man there was Luke Williams. Harpel up through the neutral zone. He'll drive wide around Robertson into the corner. Robertson, great job keeping him to the outside. As here's a chance off the spinning wraparound attempt from in behind the net. That centering pass off a skate back. Conlon has it, cycles, and stands up his man on the dump in. Has taken the worst of that was Schellinger. Back down into the corner, centering out in front for McDonald, but it was poked away. Here's Stewart through the neutral zone. Gauthier stepping up. He'll send it right back into the Bandit zone where Robertson is going to have some time. McDonald's going to pressure, finishing his check, and that's going to go all the way down for an offside call as McDonald couldn't stop his forecheck, and it's going to be a full-length icing call charged to the Wolverines. Or sorry, not an icing call, offside call charged to the Wolverines. Second period, 20 minutes on the clock here. Second period, so first period 15, second period 20, and third obviously 20 as well. Burke, push it forward, looking back door, it goes back to the point. Shot there, it's blocked. Rebound into the corner. It's battled for there. Burke waiting as Chandler in there. Pokes it for Burke. Down below the goal line. Maddox Burke has pressure on his outside hip. Into the corner. Burke goes down. Here's a chance. Enzo Chandler. He'll kick it wide for his captain. Down low, centering out in front. That was McLean stepping in from the point. As sticking with it there to work it up. Here the Wolverines. Shear up over the blue line. Jack Shear centers. Another chance is Kopik. Tried to find Conlon. Turned over. Shear just inside the blue line. Will send it back down low for Kopik. Kopik separated off the puck there, and out come the Bandits. Cross ice pass behind Burke. Burke trying to sweep it up ahead as Sim dumping it in. Peels off for the change. Fry stops it up for her captain, McLean. Hayes centers right onto the stick. Nice pass up. Here's Chandler up to Burke, who had to go off of his skate into the corner. Cameron spinning away from Berger. Cameron looking back door. Chandler had it poked away from him. Robertson, a hard rim around. Burke's going to peel off for the change as it's going to allow the Wolverines to come out. Schneier up ahead. Both men left it for the Wolverines. That allows Cameron to gather it up and work it back over. Cameron played U15 AA last year, an AP for the Bandits, as he's used that for motivation this year. And now with 26 points on the year, he's having quite the second U15 year for the Bandits. Is number 17 for them, Drew Cameron. Big frame too, about probably 6'1", maybe. I guess maybe on skates 6'1", so I'm guessing maybe 5'10". Here's Drew Cameron, so a bright future to come for him as here's Harpel Harpel to his backhand, leaves it there, and a shot goes wide. Fry was down and out, but it went wide past her glove side pad. As here comes Robertson. He'll make a move around a couple. Robertson through the neutral zone, hits center and dumps it in. Yay, tried to stop it, wasn't able to. McKay now pressured there on the far side by Burke. Burke trying to work it down. Out in front, Smith, shot goes off a stick and up, out of play. Doing a good job there to finish his check. In the corner was Jackson Camus, number 22 for the Bandits, as they look to get some offensive zone time piling up here in the second period. They lead by 1 inside the Halifax Forum. Thanks for tuning in here live on High Button Sports for this midweek matchup. Burke, offensive zone draw, winning it back to the point. Shot goes wide over to the short side. Cycled back down by O'Hearn for Burke. Pressured in the corner by 2 Wolverine players. Loses it. Shear chipping it. Not out. Conlon gathers it up now through the neutral zone as he takes a bump and turns it over. Right back. Here's a chance for Burke trying to get away from Sim. Burke down low. Stops up. Centers. Bouncing puck. Shear in there to gather that and chip it all the way down. Delayed icing call underway. Conlon going to pressure. And that'll force the man there to grab it. That was McLean before the goal line. Here's Kopech. Pressured by McLean, trying to pinch him off. Conlon in there, giving assist to Kopech as Conlon gathers the loose puck. He tries to center under his skate, now back up. Here comes Burke, one-handing it up ahead. Maddox Burke centers off the skate and back off the bench. Here comes Rutledge over the blue line, has Kopech driving. Rutledge shot goes off a stick and into the mesh for a whistle. 14:21 remaining in the second period of play. Face off, won by the Bandits. Here's Parsons. Parsons, he'll center, and out comes Bandits, but it's turned over in the neutral zone and back by the ringette line. Wolverines, let's work D to D. Good pressure there, trying to work it out was Berger. He'll work it up, Parsons steps up, takes a hit there from Parker, and out comes Schneier. He'll lose it to Stewart, who will play it over for Harris. Harris off the end wall to the half wall here. Camus gets a bump, gets another bump and sticks with it. Back for Parsons. He'll rim it around to the far side. Stewart, nice little touch pass there. And out come the Bandits. Up ahead for Camus. That's tipped in. No icing. And over the blue line, here's Camus down below the goal line. Center in for Stewart. One-timer's blocked. Stewart gathers the rebound. To the point, Parson. One-timer fanned on, picked up. Parsons walks it in. Lets a shot go. That went just off the outside of the post. Around back up top here for Harris. He'll walk in, let a shot go. Yay, pad save into the corner, McKay. Back to the point, here's Harris. Cycling it back down low, Ripley. Gets to it first, though. He'll poke it around here for Schneier. In the corner, Schneier has it. He'll center up. Through the neutral zone, past McKay. Rolling puck, no icing, is back to it first. Here's Harris. Spinning from pressure, Harris trying to center it. He'll have to spin it around as he was on his backhand, wasn't comfortable sending it across there. McDonald centering pass. Harpel picks it up off the skate and works it down low. Below the goal line, pressured by Parsons. Parsons turns it over, but right onto the stick and work back up here all the way out. And back to get that. Gauthier, he's going to have pressure. Burke in there applying light pressure on the forecheck. It's worked up. Robertson read it. He'll work it up over the blue line. Nice read there by the defenseman, Braxton Robertson, as he's going to have to get back out. Enzo Chandler covering for him. Good job there to slow things down. Hayes in the neutral zone, steps around one. Cameron up over the blue line, making a move to the middle. Cameron absorbing a hit, sticks with it for Burke down low. Burke trying to slide it on his backhand, and Yay holds on for the whistle. So pushing and shoving now here in front by Hayes as Enzo Chandler holds out outside the blue line, making sure that the face-off doesn't come outside. So with 12:13 remaining here in the second period, a great opportunity for the Bandits to make it 2-0, but unable to capitalize was the team in teal. As a couple big saves there for Taden Yay. Yay coming into the game 7-2 on the year, 21 goals allowed, and a .276 goals against average here this season. As it's worked back up here in the neutral zone, turnover just outside the blue line. There's the Bandits trying to dump it back in. As ping pong here between these two teams. Here in the neutral zone as it's worked back here. Burke has a break. Burke toe drag to his shot there, and I couldn't even keep up with that. Maddox Burke with an absolute dandy of a scoring opportunity. Now back here comes Kopech sticking with it. Drop pass. Wayne has a shot go into the glove of Fry, and Fry giving a shove there to Shear as Shear drove the net. And Ava Fry not happy about him stopping right in front of her. She gives him a shove out of there. What a toe drag by Maddox Burke. Had it on his backhand, then right to his forehand. Couldn't get the backhand to slide around the pad. And once again, Yay coming up big there, keeping his team just down by one. He'll stop it up there for Sim. It's dropped. Wayne up for Shearer. Shearer centers. In behind Conlon, and back over the stick of Sim. Wayne has it. Chips it up the boards. O'Coin intercepts it. O'Coin's going to walk in, look back door. It's tips in and scores. O'Coin tried to feed it back door. It went off the stick of the defenseman in front and past Tayden Yang, and the Bandits have a 2-goal lead in the second period. Thanks to number 8, Nate O'Coin. The great Nate O'Coin makes it 2-0 Bandits. Picking the puck up off the turnover inside the blue line, trying to feed it back door. And O'Coin off the skate or stick of the defenseman is going to make it 2-0 for the Bandits. Off the draw, working it right in. Cameron's going to get right back to work. Cameron sidesteps a hit, puck lost in his feet. Parker gathers it up. He'll wheel the back of the net now out the far side. Parker up ahead for McLean. He'll get that pressured there by Schneier. Schneier trying to work it up the wall, but McLean gathers it. He'll try to work it to Dave, take a couple bumps there, and he goes down below the goal line. Is a couple hits to the head there. No call on the play. They'll play on as McLean slow to the bench now. He takes his helmet off. I'll help him out there as he got sandwiched not once but twice on back-to-back hits as he had it pinned up there on the wall. Here's Robertson up ahead. O'Hearn off of him. No, says the official, all the way down. It's going to be an icing call. Charge to the Bandits with 10:21 remaining now in the period. Face off to the glove hand side this time of Ava Fry. The starting goaltender, and having herself a pretty solid game here so far. Cameron on the draw. Loses it though. Goche. He'll work it D to D. Williams has a shot go, tipped on, and Fry into her chest, holds on for the whistle. So Ava Fry having herself a Wednesday night in the Forum. McDonald, an offensive zone draw. Here's a chance. McKay trying to work it towards the net. That shot goes up, and that's wide over the half wall. Pressure back down low. Harple turns it over. Robertson up the far side wall. Turned over and sent right back in. Is that bouncing puck, and Fry had trouble corralling that. Back to the point. Goche walks. Shot goes off the stick and up. Out of play once again. And it's going to be another offensive zone draw for the Wolverines. As now they'll send out Shear, Kopech, and Conlon. Out there with Wayne. And number 19, Sim, is out come the Bandits off the draw. He'll work it in. Here's Camus, shot, pad, save, rebound. Kicked up to the far side. Now up into the neutral zone. Hayes steps in and sends it back down below. Yay stops it up behind the net. Reversing in behind for Sim. Sim up the wall for Shear. Shear chips it high up into the stands, and the kids are going to battle for the puck here below us. And one of them comes up with a souvenir to head home with. Add to the collection of the shooting gallery. Now they'll wrestle for it a little bit. Chebucto Minor hockey kids in the house here for this Wednesday night matchup. We see Paul Hunt, former coach of the Cole Harbour Wolfpack in the U18 League, up behind me, so good to see him into the rink, tuning in here for some midweek game. Maybe they just finished a practice over on the Civic. Here's Burke, lets a shot go. It goes wide past the glove. Over to the far side, Cameron pinches off the wall. He has it. He'll lose it though, is up. Here comes the Wolverines. Schnare up to center, poked away from him, but following up the play. Rutledge lets a shot go. Fry into her chest. She'll play it into the corner there. As the Wolverines turn it over, Burke chipping it back into the neutral zone. As out come the Bandits, and Ottawa chipped in there. Good job by Maddox Burke. He'll pressure, finishing his check. Trying to turn the puck over in the corner, and he does. Burke out of the corner had it poked away onto the stick of Cameron. Drew Cameron centered. It got chipped back to the point where Harris just to be able to hold it. He'll cycle it down low. It bounces over the stick of Burke on the end wall. Back to the point. Hayes' shot goes off the skate. Harris steps in from the far side. Down low for Burke below the goal line. Burke up on his stick. He tried it, but couldn't get it go home as he couldn't get it to stick on the blade. He had it up for a second. Unable to keep it up, though, as Hayes picking it up right back in over the blue line with Cameron. Hayes drops it. Shot goes high off the glass and behind the Tate and Yeh in the between the pipes. He's allowed 2 goals here against the Bandits as they have a 2-0 lead. The story of the night, though, has been down 200 feet from him in number 31, Ava Fry. Harris. D-to-D right on the stick, though. Harple read that perfectly. He has it down the corner. Pressured, though, by Robertson. McDonald back for Harple. Here's a chance. Harple, shot, and a save by Fry. And behind the goal, Harple to McDonald's shot. Fry save, and she holds on. Puck now squirted out and into the slot. Battled for there in the feet. Down low, Harris turns it over to Harper. Harple trying to look for an option. He'll circle back. Up top for Gauthier. Gauthier shot. Fry save once again. Ava Fry coming up big for the Bandits. It's seeming the Wolverines throwing their house door, kitchen, and sink right at Ava Fry. And you see her take a big deep breath and reset here as a defensive zone draw for the Bandits. 1 to the wall. Hayes works it in behind the goal line. Robertson up the far side. That's centered. Onto the stick of Burke. Trying to cut to the middle. McDonald was back to take that puck away. McDonald. Nice little play there for Harple as he kind of put it into space. As here he has it now up over the blue line. McDonald drives wide. Centers. Behind Harple off the bench though. Working it down Conlon. Back up to the point. Sim walks. Shot. It's blocked. And now here's a step. Young. In alone, Young to his backhand, and Yeh with the big glove save to keep it 2-0 with 6:40 remaining in the second period of play. Offensive zone draw now for the Bandits on a breakaway, though, denied by Yeh. A great chance, a good job to block the first one was Maximus Young as it's sent right back in. The Bandits trying to build off that breakaway and the block shot as they lead by 2 here as out comes Shear. Shear trying to toe drag, lets a shot go. Quick shot there off the pad and Fry as McLean gets run into there by Shear. That puck. Nice little chip play there with one hand is Camus. He'll work it in over the blue line. Camus driving, backdoor pass, and a big save there off the blocker of Yeh. Taden Yeh with a big save to keep his team just trailing by 2 here. Inside 6 minutes now remaining in the second period as the Bandits looking to extend to the 3-goal lead. Here's Stewart up over the line. Stewart trying to toe drag. Picked up there, and a good job by Sim to not allow him to get around the man. As the puck trickled in on Yeh, and he'll hold on for the whistle. Taden Yeh with 2 big back-to-back saves here in the period to keep his team in striking distance here as they look to come back, down by 2. Still a whole period of play as that shot blocked. Into the corner, Kopech. To the point, Parson holds it. Parson shot off the end wall. And around for Chandler. To the low side, Chandler. Picked up an assist on the opening goal to Burke. So did that man in Drew Cameron. Burke with a reverse check, centered out in front. Nice stick by the goaltender, Tay. As Parsons gets run over there by Snare at the point. A big team in black and yellow are the Wolverines. As that pass all the way down doesn't connect, and it's going to be on icing call charged to the Wolverines. As the seemingly top line out there now for the Bandits to take the offensive zone draw in Enzo Chandler, Maddox Burke, and Drew Cameron. Maddox Burke leading the way. Just behind him is number 17, sitting in third for points with 26 on the year is Drew Cameron. So a top line out there for the offensive zone draw. That puck sent around. Chandler leaves it there. Picked up Cameron. Circles. Shot. It's blocked. Puck still there in the slot. Picked up. Trying to clear. Onto the stick. And up Rutledge. Centers off the skate though. And Cameron trying to keep it down. He'll send it all the way in below the goal line. Yay. Intercepts it behind. Almost turned it over. Parsons. Over for Robertson. Robertson towards the net. It's blocked down and behind the goal line. Ripley trying to get that puck back as the Wolverines now under some pressure. The cycle game strong here for the Bandits. Just held onside by Robertson. Parsons trying to sidestep. Does. Hit shot goes in behind the net. Chandler in behind for Burke. Burke toe drags around a man. To the point. Parsons. He'll walk. He'll shoot. It goes blocked over. In behind. Berger plays it around for Ripley. Ripley up off the boards into the neutral zone. Robertson, he'll work it right back, trying to catch the Wolverines on a change. Here's Burke. He'll drop the shoulder around Berger. Burke trying to find the backhand. It's knocked away, and out comes the Wolverines. Parker through the neutral zone. 3-on-2. Has Harpel. He'll drop it. Harpel has it poked away from him in the slot. Here's a shot. Fry with the save. Rebound picked up. Chandler leaves it for McLean. McLean trying to avoid the pressure of Harpel. Up for Chandler, centered. Goes under the stick, but picked up here by Camus. Up to the neutral zone. Camus over the blue line, pressuring there, down low as he has it. Knocked away from him, though. Good job there to separate the man from the body. Was number 37. Luke Williams had a few big hits here in the game. Here's McDonald. Stops, looks for an option. He'll walk it in, let a shot go, and a pad save by Fry. Puck over the far side. McDonald poked off that. Now has it over top of the circles. Down low. Fry down. Has a save there. Back to the point. Williams lets a shot go. Blocked. Over on the far side. Into the corner. Harpel trying to get it back. McLean battles with him below the goal line. In there with McDonald. Takes a bump from McLean. Harpel, though, with the loose puck. Has it. Up to the point. Williams lets a shot go. It's blocked. Fry reaches up looking for it. Can't come up with it as it went over top of her and behind the goal line. As the Bandits come up with it, here's Camus. In through the neutral zone, he'll chip and chase for himself. Camus with a step. Gauthier keeps him to the outside, and Camus' shot goes around. Williams, big hit there, loses his stick as Camus finishes his check. As he'll now head off to the bench. McDonald picks it up, chips it off the glass. Into the neutral zone. Got to get back. Harpel trying to break free. Harris has some trouble with it. Fry, out of her net, holds on to the puck for the whistle. And she'll stop play here with 2:28 remaining. What a back and forth couple shifts there. Chances on Fry and then chances on Ye. Back and forth here, these two teams. The Wolverines in fourth, the Bandits in fifth. They look to get up ahead of these Wolverines as they're looking for a win on the road here. As they try to work up here, leading into the provincials. Coming up here soon as down low, trying to center out in front, and it's turned up. Picked up, here's Burke. 3-on-2. Has O'Hearn. Burke trying to cut around Sim, but a good job there. Sim taking the body there as Kopech toe drag off the skate. Conlon sends it all the way back around the net of Fry. Down the corner. Shear finishing his check. He'll cycle it back down for Kopech, but Hayes works it for Robertson. Robertson cuts up, works it back for Hayes. He's pressured. Kopech turns it over onto the stick of Shear. Shear out in front, and Parker couldn't get the backhand past. Fry is down low. Parker back for Shear on the half wall. Shear to the point. Sim back for Shear, bouncing over his stick. Robertson chipping off the stanchion up into the center of the ice. Parker, and it's offside as a change on the far side of the ice. As that puck went off the stanchion, I think the officials thought it might have went off the player or bench of the Wolverines. The offside call as the man was changing on the far side as Parker worked it up over. So 1:17 remaining here in the second period. 2-0 lead for the Bandits. The Wolverines look to cut that in half before the end of the second. Ahead into the third, just trailing by 1. The Bandits trying to extend here as they work it in over the line. Stewart, drop pass there as it's worked back. McLean to Stewart, shot goes wide. Into the corner, Harple chipping it up the wall. Harris down, Harple gathers it, and out comes Harple through the neutral zone. He'll dish it wide for McDonald, up over the blue line. McDonald down the wall, drop pass, walking in. That shot from Ripley goes wide as he let that puck rip from the point. Is up. Here's Camus through the neutral zone over the blue line. Camus drops the shoulder and cuts back on the half wall. Camus cuts out. Here's a chance. Camus shot and a save there by Yeh. Back to the point as Stewart was covering for McLean, who had stepped in. That puck back to McLean. Shot tipped into the chest of Yeh, who holds on for a whistle with 26 seconds remaining in the period. So both teams coming off a busy weekend last weekend at the Ice Jam. Both making it, I believe, through the round of 16. Or making it to the round of 16. So playing at least 4 games, I believe, for each squad in the tournament. As here's Parsons to Burke. Burke has it poked away from him. Now here's a break with 15 seconds remaining. And that's picked off. Good read there. As that was Parsons. As with 10 seconds remaining, Cameron dumps it up over the glass as the fan's going to run down there to try to grab that puck. He'll get it and tuck it up into his pocket. Another souvenir for a young fan here inside the Halifax Forum. 5 seconds remaining here in the second period. Burke trying to push it forward. Snap down though. Good job by Kopech as Parsons will play it for Robertson as time's expiring here in the second period. So after 2 periods of play, the Bandits lead the Wolverines by a score of 2-0. Goals coming off the stick of number 9, Maddox Burke in the first, and scoring in the second period was number 8, Nate O'Coin. We'll be back here for third period of action after this short intermission. Welcome back for the third and final period of play here inside the Halifax Forum, as we are underway between the Bandits and the Wolverines. 2-0 lead. And the door unable to close over there on the Wolverines bench will stop play. Steve Bent, the newly appointed head coach for the Wolverines, will chip away some of the ice and snow buildup, which is enabling the door to close, and a little bit of a safety hazard there as Steve will push some of the snow out, and Riley Green able to close the door, and we will get back to play here inside the Forum. Face-off will come outside the Bandit zone. 2-0 lead for them heading into this third period as they look to take a win over the team who sits one position in the leaderboard ahead of them as the fourth place team and the fifth place team in this midweek matchup battling it out here. 2-0 lead. The story of the night has been number 31, Ava Fry, for the Bandits, as the Wolverines at times throwing their everything they've got at her, and she's been able to come up big here so far in this game. As it gets cycled down along the end wall. It's the Bandits now with some offensive zone pressure. Camus cycling it back down low. O'Coin pinches his man off. O'Coin giving the Bandits the 2-0 lead off a pickup on a turnover, and he tried to find a man back door. It ended up going off the stick of the defenseman and into the back of the net to give the Bandits a 2-goal lead as they try to work another offensive zone shift out here. Is a long change for the Bandits once again in the third period. Parker centers off the stick, and I think that might have hit the helmet of Fry and went into the corner where it's rimmed around now here for Camus. He'll center, take a hit as a delayed icing call. Out to play it, but then retreated was Ye, and it's going to be an icing call charged to the Bandits. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure if the goaltender leaves his crease to play the puck, that takes away the icing, which Ye left his crease to go play the puck, saw that it was going to be an icing, thought better of it, retreated, and it was still icing. So potential controversy there as Sim has a shot go bouncing into the corner. Robertson chipping it up the wall, and out come the Bandits. Here's Burke. Burke will chip it in, take the hit as Camus trying to follow it up. It gets back into the neutral zone. Over the blue line, here's Hayes. He'll work it in down low, below the goal line. He lets a shot go off the side of the net, and Ye jumps on that loose puck and holds on for the rebound with exactly 18 minutes to go here in the period. Still a 2-goal lead for the Bandits. They have come out here in the third period trying to possess some O-zone time for a longer period of time here in the third, as the Wolverines did a great job of that in the opening two periods of possessing puck in the zone for lengthy periods of time, but still unable to solve. Ava Fry are the Wolverines. As it gets chipped back into the Bandit zone, Schneer's going to pressure. Schneer trying to work it. Good job, though, to get it up was Harris up to the half wall where Burke stick lift there, and it's worked back here over the blue line. Here's a chance for the Bandits, and that shot goes high. As letting that one go was O'Hearn. Is now, here comes the Wolverines, 2-on-1. Harpel drives wide. He gets pinched off by Harris on the end wall where Burke gathers the loose puck and will move it up north. Burke through the neutral zone. Up over the blue line, he'll cut to the middle. Burke drops it off. O'Hearn's shot blocked over to the half wall, cycled back down low for Burke, the smooth skating number 9 for the Bandits as he peels off for the change. Down below, Harpel plays it over there, back up, and heads up. That was a big hit there on the far side by Harris, but the puck got chipped out past him. 1-on-2, Harpel. He'll work it down below the goal line. Harpel now will peel off for the change as Harris will gather up the loose puck. Harris up the wall. Stewart turns it over to Conlon. Schellinger centered out in front. Robertson gathers. He'll rim it up off the dasher and up as that hit a stanchion. McDonald taking a big hit there from Schellinger. Back into the neutral zone. Harris gets blue, peels off for the change. That'll activate Parsons. He's out there with Robertson. Cycling it back down low. Schellinger for Camus. Spinning away. McDonald trying to poke it away. Camus sticking with it. Now poked away though by Ripley into the corner. McDonald up. Parsons trying to hold. And out comes Conlon. Conlon down the far side wall to the outside. Conlon drives it in below. Centered out in front. Shear has it poked away from him. Back to Sim though as that shot blocked as Camus finishing his hit there on Sim. Puck on the half wall. Shear trying to walk it out. Has it turned over and onto the Stewart stick who was grabbing his glove. Loses his glove as he's had it with one hand and poked off the stick of Wayne. And Wayne now back into the neutral zone. Wayne over the blue line has Shear. He'll drop it for him. Jack Shear shot and a blocker save by Fry. That's cycled in behind the net as Shear read it. He's centered. Fry save and that puck cleared away once again by Cameron. He'll get to it on the half wall. Take a bump. Turn it over. Burke out there now as Kopech has it down the wall. He'll cycle it in behind the goal net as it'll be battled there. Good job as it's trying to get worked up there by McKay. Sim lets a shot go. Blocked. Fry never saw it as it went in high as it never got to the net of Ava Fry. Is now in the corner trying to work it out as McKay. He'll rim it back. Not enough on it and out comes the Bandits. Cameron through the neutral zone. Has Burke with him. Cameron, he'll split right through. Dish to Burke and that just out of his reach. Maddock Burke cycling under the stick of Chandler. Cameron will pressure, get a stick on it. That'll disrupt it. Over to the short side wall here where Burke gathers. He'll spin away. Look at that escape move. Burke to the forehand. Lets a shot go. Fanned on there. No call. Puck still loose. Trying to dig it out of Chandler as Cameron on his own teammate. Is now they'll have to get back to the neutral zone. Kopech cuts to the middle, leaves it there. Up ahead for Parker, and Fry holds on for the whistle as that puck dribbled in on her. And she holds on. 14-16 remaining here in the third and final period of regulation. As back and forth play continuing here, Fry with another big save, keeping her team up by 2. The Wolverines. Time starting to click away here in the third period as 6 minutes or so is almost expiring on the clock. Williams steps in towards the net. It's blocked. O'Coin chipping it to the wall. Held in, though, by Williams momentarily as he now has it back in the neutral zone. He'll play it back up the far side. Gauthier takes a bump from Camus. It's turned over. McLean has it. He tried to work it up the wall for Smith, but off the shaft of the stick, and a shot there from Rutledge. As a good forecheck there by the Wolverines. Rutledge leaves it for Harper. Harper gets pinched off by McLean in the corner. It's one over to the far side. Harris up for Camus. Down low, back for Hayes. Hayes pokes it off the stick there of Harper on the forecheck. Up the wall. Battled for there. Back down low. McLean over to the far side. As Harris makes a move. Hayes makes a move now. He'll carry it up north over the blue line. Smith chips that puck over cross corner. That allows his team to change. O'Coin will forecheck. It goes around here for Conlon. Can't get it. Goes off the skate. That could have been too many men as it hit the skate of McLean as he was exiting onto the bench. Here's a chance though. Camus shot at a save off the chest and holding on. Tayden Yeh. What a chance there. Camus turning on the afterburners as he drove wide. Tried to flip it up to the short side, but the chest save there of the 6 foot tall Tayden Yeh coming up big as there'll be another offensive zone draw now here down in the Wolverine zone, glove hand side of Yeh. So the Steve Bent having a quick chat with the official maybe about the too many men call that the Bandits might have got away with there. It hit the skate, but I don't think they played it is what the official was saying. I don't know about that, but here's Harris. He'll cycle it, take a bump from Conlon as he finishes his check. The captain trying to lead his team into a comeback here in the third period. Over on the far side, Parsons plays it back. Harris is going to have to go all the way back. He's pressured by Conlon. Conlon on the forecheck, forcing them to cycle it around the goal line as it's turned over. Centering pass interrupted there by Cameron. Down low, Cameron, pressured by Shear. Turns it over. Ripley's shot blocked and out. Parsons up to the far side where Young centers. Ripley gathers it up in his own zone. He'll leave it there as he gets it back from his defense partner. Is that centering pass through the skates and up over the blue line. Shear knocks it around. Parsons around for Harris. Pressured by McKay. Turned over. Jack Shear has it. Loses it in his feet and turned it back up. Here comes the Bandits. 2-on-2. Chipping up ahead for Cameron was Young. Back for Young. Nice feed there, and they just hold it off. As a great job there keeping that puck from trickling in was Ryan Sims, and out comes the Wolverines. McDonald cuts, and a big hit there from Stewart is going to be a kneeing call to Stewart as McDonald tried to jump to the middle, which he put himself in a vulnerable position. Smith will head over, and Camus will come off, so a 2-minute power play, or a 4-minute power play. 4 minutes for kneeing on a man trying to cut to the middle, put himself in a vulnerable spot, and the Bandits are going to be penalized here, and a big power play upcoming for the Wolverines as Wayne has it at the point. Back down, Kopik's shot, rebound. Fry steers it away. Robertson into the corner, pressuring Parker, who will spin it up to Kopik. Kopik, cross ice pass, Sim, bounces over, and now here's a break for the Bandits. 1-on-1, Schellender, shot there as it goes wide. Down in below the goal line now, Schellender's gonna have to get back as a 3-on-3 developing back and trying to hip check. There was Hayes down low, centering pass. Parker couldn't handle the puck, rebound still there, and they score! As Fry was down and out, the Wolverines finding the rebound. We'll wait to see who got it. Looks like it's going to be number 22. Max Kopik has the first goal for the Wolverines to cut the lead in half, and 2 fresh minutes on the power play still upcoming for the Wolverines. As the lead cut in half for the Bandits, the Wolverines on a power play goal. Coming up with that one's number 22, Max Kopik, to get the opportunity here at the comeback. As the Bandits got to find a way to kill off the next minute and 50 seconds of this penalty. As Cameron out there to start this kill off with Maddox Burke, the highly talented and scouted number 9 for the Bandits. It's going to kill a penalty and finish his hit on Gauthier to force the turnover, and a great job there by number 9 as he has a goal in the game. And Cameron out there as well. He's got 26 points on the year. Caught up with Drew Cameron pregame. Head over to High Button Sports Instagram to check out the interview with him and Jared Conlon. The captain for the Wolverines is Gauthier. That puck intercepted, and out comes Burke. 2-on-2 with Cameron over the line. Burke poked away from him, gets it back. Burke using his stick, almost flipped over as a shovel to pull pucks back. A newer move. Really saw it a few years ago in the World Juniors with Connor Bedard using it, reaching out and pulling it back with that. So Burke picking up some NHL caliber defense mechanisms, if you will, here in this game. As that puck cleared up, Ripley, he'll control. That puck off the body of Harpel as back Ripley will stop up behind his net. Camus stops in front of the goal crease as the Bandits looking to kill off the last 23 seconds of the penalty. Berger rimming it around to the far side. Snare as it's chipped past him, but Ripley holds. It's shot, doesn't make it through all the way. Berger steps in. He'll dish it back down into the corner. Sharp angle shot. Fry holds on, as that was a sneaky little chance there, as trying to tuck it up on the short side was number 7, Austin Rutledge, as he walked out of the corner. And Fry standing tall, keeping this a 1-goal game. 7 seconds remaining on the penalty. To Smith, as he's eager to get, to Jonathan Stewart, as he's eager to get back in there to help his team try to win this game with a 9:07 remaining in regulation. Puck one back to Sim. He'll walk, drop it back down the half wall. McKay, toe drag, poked away by McLean. Parker turns it over. Heads up, Stewart right back into the action after serving the 4-minute penalty, as the Bandits kill off one of the 2 double minors, and the Wolverines capitalizing as they cut the lead in half. As down low, Hayes and McKay, Kopech, and a delayed call up coming here. Let's wait to see what the call's for. The puck was pinned up, and it's going to be a holding call, and it looks like it's going to go to number 44 on the Wolverines. That's Lachlan McKay. He's going to get the call, so it's going to be a power play now for the Bandits. As you see there, Coach Jake Barter stepping down from the bench, the former Dalhousie Tiger and Victoriaville Tiger of the Quebec Major Junior League. Also played a few other places. The list will be a little bit too long to list off, as if you ask even him himself, he'll call himself the Quebec Major Junior League suitcase, as he was around quite a few different teams, finishing in Junior A, finishing in Amherst with the Ramblers. Also played at the RNS and the Rossay Netherwood School in Rossay, New Brunswick. So played a little bit of everywhere, did Jake Barter. As it's worked up here, Camus down the wall. Camus shot and a save by Tate. Yay with another big save there, keeping his team just trailing by 1. Camus off the half wall looking for something out front. He'll walk it around. Backdoor pass. Cameron tried to feed it around for Burke, and it gets cleared down in the power play. Unable to get a set up for longer than, probably 15 seconds, as they'll go back. Robertson, he'll drop it off for Burke. Up over the blue line, Maddox Burke down the wall. He has it poked away into the corner. He'll drop it off, and out comes Kopech. Kopech has the lone goal for the Wolverines. He works it up shorthanded. Kopech tried to cut, and he turns it over here to Camus. Jackson Camus pressured there. Good job to fight off one. Camus trying to fight off another one. He gets taken out by Williams. That clear attempt off the hand of Robertson, and he's going to have to get back. As Kopech towards the net, Kopech cuts again, shot, and good job there by Robertson disrupting that shot attempt, and out come the Bandits through the neutral zone. Up over the blue line. Here's Hayes, drops it. Chandler walks in, shot, it's blocked, rebound, and Yay holds on for the whistle. As mentioning, Jake Barter, his sister, Allie Barter, played with her growing up playing minor hockey in Tassa. She finished off her hockey career at the University of St. Mary's, and she is coaching the Capitals in the U18 League. Small world this hockey world is that puck cleared down. 15 seconds now remaining here in the Bandits power play. Parsons, as Coach Paul Hunt joins his team just below us here, as that puck kicked to the wall and joined down the wall. There's Sellender trying to get it back in deep now to the point. Held in there. Here's a shot in front, and they score! Enzo Chandler has his second point of the night, and he makes it 3-1 for the Bandits, as Chandler picking up the loose puck in front and sliding it 5-hole to make it 3-1 for the Bandits over the Wolverines. Enzo Chandler, second point of the game, and number 13 having himself a night, as he adds a little bit of insurance here with 6:29 remaining. Barter saying, everyone stay calm, stick to the game plan, as you're sure you're going to see a push here from the Wolves. The Wolverines, Schneier trying to work it around. McLean can't do so in behind. Rutledge in there on the forecheck, has it worked around him. Schneier, Harpel picks it off on the far side wall. Harpel trying to toe drag out of the corner, can't do so, as now he has it below the goal line. Harpel still with it, trying to spin away from some pressure as he's pinched off on the wall now. As Young coming out with the loose puck, he'll dish it over there for O'Hearn. O'Hearn battles, he gets tripped up. No call, no arm up as the puck still battling there on the half wall. Schneier coming up with it, back over the blue line. Schneier, toe drag, and he got absolutely dumped by Levi Harris. What a hit there by Harris as he just dumped Schneier. As that puck through the skates of O'Coin, tipped there. Yay, out to play it. Yay, up off the glass, past O'Coin. Conlon plays it up here. Harpel over the blue line. Harpel dishing it for Conlon. Back for Harpel in front. Couldn't control it. And back to the point. Williams steps in. He lets a shot go. Fry trying to scoop it up. Can't do so. Shear to the rebound. Back to the point for Gauthier. Gauthier cycling it down along the end wall. As Williams thought about stepping in. Now he'll retreat. Then stepped up. Delayed the hit. As that puck passed him. And a big hit there by Williams. As the fans below us enjoying the physicality. As back, here's a break for the Wolverines. McDonald walks in, shot, Fry, save. And up and into the mesh for a save. Ava Fry coming up big, a delayed call on the play. Looked like maybe in behind the play. We'll wait to see on who. It's going to be 2 for roughing the call. And it's going to be to Young. So they had to go get him out of the bench, and looks like it's going to be Maximus Young to the box for 2. As mentioned moments ago, Paul Hunt, former coach of the the Cole Harbour Wolfpack, now the head of the Shabukto organization just outside of Halifax. As the Bandits are going to have to come up with a big kill here with 4:40 remaining on the clock in the third period. Sim will work it D to D. Wayne. Across ice for McDonald. He'll walk in, let a shot go, and Fry into her chest, holds on once again for the whistle. Ava Fry has been absolutely exceptional here tonight as she's had opportunity after opportunity against her, and coming up all but once and on a scramble in front. Ava Fry has been the difference maker here for the Bandits. Shear down low, he's pressured. Shear up off the wall, he'll work it back down low and now get it back to the point. Here's Sim, he'll walk back for Shear, kind of handcuffed him as it walked down low. Cycled as that's McDonald trying to get it back down. Is McDonald sticking with it, spinning it up. Shear has it in his feet, he'll find it, work it over. Drop pass for Sim, who just wasn't able to hold the line in an offside call to the Wolverines. Good start here to the penalty kill for the Bandits, being able to keep them all outside and wide. As it's going to be a face-off just outside the blue line. 4:03 remaining here, third period of regulation. A Wolverines power play as they look to cut the lead back to 1 as they trail by 2. Over the line, down low for Kopak. Kopak's pressured by Robertson. As out of the corner, turned over, Burke has Cameron. Burke just pushed it too far ahead of him, and it's poked back. Here comes McKay. McKay down the wall, trying to spin to set things up, but 2 Bandits all over him was Robertson and Burke comes out with the loose puck and sends it all the way down. As Ye will come out, play it up. Nice job there by Ye to move it up, but it was turned over. Parker, though, off of his body, and he'll chip it back in deep where Robertson. Nice job to move it up the wall. Robertson gets pinched off right before he sends it all the way down, so a great job there from the defenseman Braxton Robertson, taking the hit to make the play as the Wolverines are forced to go all the way back and break it up. Through the neutral zone, here's Rutledge. He'll drop it, and that'll be worked right back out into the neutral zone. Ripley. Cross ice pass, and that'll be Berger to dump it in. 10 seconds remaining on the power play here. Is a great job by the Bandits to kill off this one as it's cleared back into the neutral zone. Ripley works it up ahead. Kopik Great job, and he got absolutely thumped. What an absolute hit. As he drilled him right in the chest, the head snapped back because of the impact, and the referee called it for head contact. And another absolute magnificent hit from number 6, Levi Harris. That was a textbook hit. Shoulder down, elbow down, delivered it right to the middle of the chest, and a head contact call charged against Harris with 2:41 remaining in the period. A 2-goal lead, and the Bandits center is going to get kicked out. It's going to force Camus into the draw. So McDonald will face off against Camus. Power play here for 2 minutes. So it's just a 2-minute penalty for head contact as it's down low. Worked up to the wall. Trying to work it back to the point. Wayne now has it. He'll walk. He'll dish. Sim walks in. Fanned on that. He'll have to recycle it back up top. Wayne shot tipped and a pad save by Fry. Steers it to Harpel on the half wall. Wayne across for Sim. Across ice. Harpel walks in. Shot goes wide past the blocker. And Sim able to keep it down. Working it for McDonald. Walk, shot. That goes wide. Harpel has it on the far side. He'll work it back for Wayne. Back to Harpel. He'll walk it in. Harpel poked away from him by McLean. Nice stick there by McLean and poked the puck away. He'll clear up the middle of the ice on his backhand where Sim gloves his stick. Working it right back up. McKay up over the blue line. Drops over. McDonald toe drag shot. McLean pokes it out and dives it. Knocks it into the neutral zone where Shear off the bench gathers it. He'll drop it back for Wayne. Wayne cycling it back down. The penalty, parents trying to get a penalty for too many men as net empty for the Wolverines. Desperation time for them as that puck down low. Fry save, rebound into the corner. Kopech to Shear, shot blocked in front over to the half wall. Ripley waiting at the point. As down low, Parker shot off the pad. Back up here. As the net empty. As here's a chance. Camus had it poked away from him. Camus at the empty net goes wide and takes a hit for his effort. Stewart get in on the forecheck. He tried for the empty net. And good job there to break that up with Schneier. As here's Williams. He'll cut up in front of his net. Williams kicking it wide. Inside a minute now remaining here in the third period. Up over the blue line. Shear dishes it for Kopech. Robertson, empty net, just goes wide, and an icing call. And with 39 seconds left on the clock, the officials are going to have a quick chat. .39 seconds remaining. And the face-off will come back to center ice. So the penalty was expiring as the puck got dumped. So it won't be an icing call. Face-off back to center. 39 seconds remaining here in regulation. 2-goal deficit for the Wolverines. And a timeout will be called by Steve Bent. And we'll be right back after this quick timeout. And we're back here for the last 39 seconds of regulation. The Wolverines trying to pull off the impossible. 2 goals in under 40 seconds. Can they do it? As they look, try to keep things rolling here. Kopech off the draw, working it in. Conlon sidesteps a hit there. Harris pins it in the wall. Inside half a minute now remaining. Out of the corner, Shear. Back to the point. Up top, shot tipped into the mesh. Out of play. Will stop things up with 18 seconds now remaining in the third period. So Wolverines now, time is going to be a factor here. They got to get a quick hitter off the draw and try to get right back into the zone if they can. But with 18 seconds left, that puck in the corner, Harris up past Cameron into the neutral zone. That puck trickling towards the empty net. Will it have enough? And that puck off the side of the post. No goal. As the Bandits players wanted that one. As here's a turnover down low. Centering pass. Burke trying to bang one home, and a big block there to keep it 3-1. But it's a little bit too late as a win for the Bandits and the Martello Wealth Bandits coming in to the Wolverines rink and winning. Here a score of 3-1, goals coming off the stick of number 9 for the Bandits in Maddox Burke. Also coming from Enzo Chandler. And number 8, Nate O'Coin. Nate O'Coin with the game-winning goal here inside the form. But that'll do it here for me. I'm Logan Carruthers with High Button Sports. Thank you and have a good one. We'll see you later.